Hey, shut him up or I'll be arresting him. The words cut through the air like a whip. A young black mother in her early 30s stood outside Walmart, rocking her toddler in her arms as he cried from hunger. She blinked, hardly believing what she had just heard. In front of her stood a uniformed officer, a white woman with her badge gleaming and her face twisted in disdain. Her name tag read Karen. And yes, you heard that right. Her actual name was Karen. The mother's jaw dropped. Arrest him? Can't you see he's only a toddler? But Officer Karen didn't flinch. Listen, we have a strict policy against disturbing the peace, and your little Mike Tyson over there is breaking that law. The baby whimpered louder, reaching for his mother's shoulder. The mother held him closer, whispering softly, "It's okay, sweetheart." Then, forcing herself to stay calm, she told the officer, "Can't you see he's just hungry? Can you please just leave us alone?" But Karen leaned in, sneering. Speaking to an officer that way, no wonder he's already learning to break the law from his mama. The mother's heart pounded, but she made a choice. She refused to give Karen the satisfaction of a fight. "Come on, sweetie," she murmured to her child, turning away. She crossed the lot to a quieter bench, sitting down to open a small container of baby food. She smiled gently at her son. "Here you go. Just ignore that crazy Karen." As he calmed and began to eat, she realized he also needed a diaper change. She glanced around the plaza, muttering to herself, "I hope this place has somewhere we can change you." She circled the area, but there was no restroom or changing table in sight. Finally, she sighed, returned to the bench, and spread a cloth across it. "I guess we'll have to do this here." She gently laid her baby down and began changing his diaper. But just as she was fastening it, a familiar voice rang out. "Ah, here we go again, this time with indecent exposure." The mother's shoulders stiffened. She didn't even have to look up. "Oh, no," she muttered. "Not you again." Karen stood over her, eyes narrowed. "You and that transient child of yours need to clear out of this plaza immediately. Maybe leave this city altogether." The mother snapped her head up, fire in her eyes. "Excuse me? Do you not have any empathy for parents and toddlers? Have you ever seen someone targeted again and again, no matter what they do, simply because of who they are?" Before we go further, what country or city are you tuning in from? Drop it in the comments. We love seeing where you're watching from. And if you believe no child should ever be threatened for simply crying, hit that button and subscribe to Story Arc for more stories that matter. The toddler suddenly burst into tears, his cries echoing through the plaza. His mother bent down, trying to soothe him. "Shh, sweetheart, it's okay." But Officer Karen clutched her temples dramatically, covering her ears. "Ah, look at this. You need to shut him up right now or I'll call CPS and have him taken away." The mother's breath caught. Her voice trembled, but she forced it steady. "All right, relax. We're leaving now. We're on our way out." She lifted her son into her arms, rocking him gently. But Karen wasn't finished. She lunged forward, snatching the baby out of his mother's grasp. The woman gasped and tried to grab him back, but Karen snapped her arm out like a stop sign. "Stand back, or I'll tase you. I'll take him myself," Karen barked. The mother's voice cracked with fury. "Excuse me? Let go of my child." She lunged, pulling her son back into her arms. Karen's lip curled. "It's obvious you're not fit to be a parent. You're raising a thug." Her hand dropped to her belt, brushing against her holster as she hissed, "Stand back!" The mother's heart raced, but she didn't budge. "You're not taking my baby. Not today." She raised her voice, shouting desperately, "Help! Somebody help! This Karen is trying to steal my child." Karen's voice grew louder, almost theatrical. "Shut it, miss. He's under arrest, and he has the right to remain silent." She tugged at the toddler's tiny wrist. Fumbling with handcuffs like this was a crime scene. The mother clutched her child tighter, sobbing. "He's a toddler, for God's sake. Shut it!" Karen snapped. Then suddenly, "Officer Karen, what is going on here?" The voice was sharp, commanding. A second officer, white, late 30s, strode into the scene. His nameplate read Jason. Karen didn't even hesitate. She puffed up her chest like she was proud of herself. "I'm placing this little thug under arrest for indecent exposure and disturbing the peace." She still clutched the baby's hand. Jason froze, disbelief flooding his face. "A thug? This is just a baby," Karen scoffed. "Yeah, who else? And the mother isn't helping the situation either." Jason's jaw tightened. He stepped forward, voice booming. Hands off that baby right now, and take those handcuffs off immediately. The mother gasped, hugging her son tightly. My baby, she whispered. She looked at Jason with raw relief. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ma'am, step aside. I've got this, Jason said firmly. Have you ever witnessed someone so far out of line that you wondered how they even kept their job? What would you do if you saw an officer trying to cuff a toddler? The mother clutched her son, stepping back just as Officer Jason squared off with Karen. Karen, what on earth do you think you're doing? His voice shook the air like thunder. But Karen didn't flinch. She lifted her chin, speaking as though she was the one in control. Me? Jason, you know the code. Don't break the blue line. The mother's eyes widened. She whispered to herself, unbelievable, then quickly pulled out her phone and went live, aiming the camera at both officers. Jason glared at Karen. The blue line doesn't cover this madness. Arresting a toddler, have you lost it? Karen sneered, her voice dripping with arrogance. Hey, Jason, did I expose you when you had that misfire that killed a kid during a pullover? Did I expose you? Jason's face hardened. No. Exactly, Karen said triumphantly. So are you really going to turn on me over this? The mother's phone captured every word. Jason hesitated, glancing at the crying baby in his mother's arms. His voice softened for a moment. Karen, this is insane. Let's just back off and leave them alone. But just then, the toddler's cries grew louder, shrill and piercing. The mother kissed his forehead. Shh, baby, it's okay. Mommy's here. Karen rolled her eyes dramatically and snapped. See? That's disturbing the peace. This little thug can't control himself. Why should the rest of us tolerate it? Walmart customers have already complained to me. They're saying his tantrums are giving them headaches. Do you want them to lose their hearing? Or get sick? She jabbed a finger toward the baby. So, Jason, are you backing me up or not? Or are we not on the same team? Jason sighed heavily, caught between loyalty and reason. After a long pause, he muttered, Fine. Okay. Jason turned to her with a rehearsed tone. All right, ma'am. My partner has informed me this situation has been ongoing. We're going to have to take the child into custody. The mother's voice cracked into a scream. What? Are you out of your mind? We are just waiting for my husband to pick us up. Karen smirked coldly. Yeah. Tupac Shakur ain't coming today. The mother gasped in rage, clutching her child tighter. Karen stepped forward, lips curling into a cruel smile as she reached again for the toddler. He's coming with me whether you like it or not. You're unfit, and this little thug is about to learn his first lesson behind bars. Then, before Karen could act, a voice thundered across the lot. Deep, commanding, impossible to ignore. Let go of my grandchild. Karen and Jason spun around, both their faces draining of color. Captain, they shouted in unison. A tall black man in his 50s strode forward, his presence alone commanding silence. His eyes were blazing with controlled fury. The captain's voice cut through the chaos like a knife. What do you think you're doing? Trying to arrest a toddler? Karen's mouth fell open, but she tried to cover her tracks. Sorry, Captain, we didn't know that was your grandchild. But the captain's glare didn't soften. He raised his voice, sharp and firm. What difference does it make whose grandchild it is? The point is, it's a toddler. The mother clutched her baby tight, her breathing heavy with relief. The captain pointed straight at her. I saw everything. My daughter-in-law recorded the whole thing and streamed it straight to me. Karen's face twisted in panic. She did what? That's illegal. No, it's not, the captain snapped back. He stepped closer, his voice rising so everyone in the plaza could hear. Officer Karen, remove your badge. Now. Karen's jaw dropped. What? She shouted in disbelief. The captain's voice thundered again. Do I need to repeat myself? Hand over your weapons. You are suspended effective immediately, pending further investigation into today's incident and several other complaints brought forward by the ACLU. Gasps rippled through the onlookers. Shoppers stood frozen, phones raised, capturing every moment. Then the captain's gaze shifted to Jason. His tone was cold, unflinching. And Officer Jason, head to the office, now. I reviewed the body cam footage. I heard your entire conversation. You'll both be facing a full inquiry. Jason's face went pale. His lips moved, but no words came out. He looked at Karen, then back at the captain, defeated. The captain gestured sharply. Go join him, Officer Karen. Karen's hands shook as she slowly unclipped her badge, eyes wide with disbelief. She stumbled toward Jason, both of them now stripped of their authority, the crowd filming every step. The mother's knees buckled with relief as she whispered to her child, "You're safe now, baby. You're safe." The mother clutched her child close, her eyes filled with relief. "Thanks, Dad," she said softly, her voice trembling. The captain turned to her, his expression softening. "Well done," he said firmly. "You did a great job on your undercover mission." The mother let out a shaky laugh, still trying to process what had just happened. "Thanks, Dad," she replied. "But I can't believe people like that are still on the force. Honestly, it was getting pretty scary." The captain nodded, his voice low but resolute. "Scary, yes, but you stayed composed. Most importantly, little Damien wasn't harmed. It was close, but we got what we needed, a confession from Jason. And by exposing officers like Karen, we finally have a clean house." The mother adjusted Damien in her arms, kissing the toddler's forehead. The little boy yawned, finally calm again, as if sensing the danger had passed. The captain's tone grew heavier. "The ACLU has been suspicious of them for a long time, and now it's confirmed. Their prejudice, their misconduct, it ends here." Later that week, the truth came down hard. Both Officer Karen and Jason were officially found guilty of misconduct. The department issued a statement. There would be zero tolerance for prejudice within their ranks. The punishment was swift. Karen and Jason were sentenced to 15 years without bail. The courtroom was silent the day the verdict was read, but the weight of justice rang louder than words. Through time and reflection, Karen eventually admitted her failures. She acknowledged how her prejudice had harmed innocent people, even children. She committed herself, finally, to fostering empathy, respect, and equality. She learned the lesson far too late, but the message was clear. Every person, regardless of race or age, deserves dignity and compassion. Have you ever watched justice finally catch up with people who thought they could get away with prejudice forever? If you believe no innocent child should ever be terrorized, cuffed, or silenced just because of the color of their skin, then hit that like button and subscribe to Story Arc for more stories that demand justice be served.